baby. It's that time once again. Welcome back for another side quest episode from yours truly, the Beyond Exposition podcast, with one of your favorite co-hosts in the entire world, Eduardo. Now, again, my boy's absent, but he's here in spirit. Okay, so he'll be back very soon. Don't worry. He's not going to be gone. He's not gone fully all the way yet. Hopefully, we're gonna ride this till the wheels fall off, like we mentioned before. But anyways, welcome back for another segment, what we call side quests. So today, I came across this very interesting video with a gentleman by the name of David Grusch. Before we get into that, apologize to me for not having any manners. Hopefully you're having a fantastic, today is Monday, and hopefully you're having an amazing day so far, start of a new week. And go check out our new side quest, reaction video to the song by the homie Eliasar. Go check it out. It's on our YouTube page. If you haven't followed our YouTube page or subscribe to it, go do so, please. It'll help us out very much. And follow us on our socials. We're on TikTok and on Instagram, and we're on X, I believe. But if you go to our Instagram page, Beyond Exposition Pod, we'll have a link tree in our bio. It'll give you all the links to where you can find anything in regards to the podcast there. So one click away, boom, you'll have everything at your desire. So go check that out. But anyhow, back to what we were saying. David Grusch. So this was, I want to say, last year or the last couple of years, right? This gentleman, he's a former U.S. Air Force intelligence officer. So he's somewhat of a high ranking out there, people. This ain't just regular. This isn't just your regular Joe Schmo. Okay, let's just put it that way. This gentleman here spilled the beans, or pretty much came out forward and talked about what's going on in regards to the UAPs and all that. And he was a representative of the Pentagon's Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Task Force. So we got to take this at face value, people. We got to really, at this point, we have all these high-level officials, right, coming out and speaking in regards to this phenomena that's happening, right, in regards to these UAPs, these unidentified flying objects that we're seeing all over the world, right? People are uploading their encounters, or just encounters in general are popping up or seeming to be more frequent right now because obviously of social media. Everybody's got a phone, everybody's got a camera on deck. So they're recording this as it's happening and they're witnessing whatever this is, right? We've heard about encounters of seeing object coming out of the ocean, and just objects kind of, zooming by in the sky. Even some taken from actual airplane flights, that they see something in the sky out there just kind of flying along. At this point, I know, right? One could think, well, AI can make anything. AI can make any video that's close to being the real deal and make it happen, right? But then again, it's like, if you have a gentleman or individual like this person, David Grusch, it's like, what do you got to say at that point? And that's kind of where we're at nowadays, to where we have more and more of these people at these high level rankings, or just these official roles, right, within the government, speaking about this stuff freely and just letting the people know that there is definitely something going on out there. We just don't know what it is, right? So just to give you a little bit more, I guess, context of who David Grusch is, if you guys haven't heard about him or anything in regards of him, follow along. We're going to fill you in a little bit on this. Like I said, in this interesting video that I came across today within the interwebs, talking about UAPs and just kind of what the latest is in regards to this matter, right? So David Grusch, he's a former U.S. Air Force intelligence officer, major, and civilians intelligence official, GS-15 at the National Geopostal Intelligence Agency, NGA. He served in a role including as the NRO, National Reconnaissance Office representative to the Pentagon's Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force, and later supported the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, AARO. So he gained prominence in 2023, which was a couple years ago, like I mentioned, as a UAP whistleblower. In interviews, notably the News Nation and Ross Coulthart, and under oath during the July 26, 2023 congressional hearing before the House Oversight Subcommittee, he alleged, quote, "The U.S. government operates a multi-decade crash retrieval and reverse engineering program for, quote, non-human craft." Okay, so just reading that part right there, people. Let's take a seat back. Let's lean back a little bit and kind of take that in for what it is, right? In quotations, non-human craft. So if it's not a human being operating these things, what are we dealing with? That's the first thing that comes to mind, right? At that point, you can make whatever, opinion of what it is, or you can have any thought of what it is, whatever. But at this point, enough's enough. Back in the day, many, many years ago, the subject of this, when you would talk about it amongst your friends, your coworkers, or whatever, right? It would be such a taboo subject, like where people would kind of brush you off before really taking it into context and really think about it like this, right? Are we truly the only living human being, or living things in general, right? Like, fuck all that, human being shit. But in general, the only living things in this whole entire galaxy. Think about that. Now, I'm not even trying to bring in the fact that, aliens this, aliens that. No, it's not even about that. Do you think we're the only ones that exist with this entire galaxy? That's the question that I'm putting it out there. Like, and I would want an answer to. Personal opinion on my end, I don't think so. Sorry, call me crazy, call me, heads off his rocker. No, I'm just saying, dude, the galaxy, the universe in general is so vast. We have no clue what is out there. It's almost scary to think about, right? Like, when you hear about all these flight tests, or, rockets going out to outer space and people going up there and, we're trying to go to Mars. Oh, man, just thinking about that and being away from planet Earth and just seeing it as a little speckle, like just a little ball, like right there. Human beings live right there in that little blueberry ball right there. It's insane to think about. Just seeing videos and all that, and seeing all these videos, or pictures of like them taking, from the inside of the rocket or the shuttle of planet Earth. It just reminds you, man, we're just a little speckle in the sand. Truly. So, the government operates a multi-decade crash retrieval and reverse engineering program for, quote, non-human craft, involving highly secretive special access programs, SAPs, to which he was denied access despite his clearances and role. He interviewed 40 credible current and former officials with direct knowledge who provided information, including documents and photos about recovered, quote, non-human vehicles and non-human biologics, a term he used for biological remains or evidence of non-human sentience pilots from crash sites. This is, dude, just reading this again. I remember when I first heard this, right? When this was happening, when he was, in front of the committee and all that, just talking about all this stuff. They were asking him questions about these retrievals and these non-human biologies, whatever. If this is true, a big if, right? If this is true, it's going to send a whole ripple effect of just human history, I would think. Because now we got to ask ourselves, right? Like one of the many questions I would want to know an answer to is, have they had any involvement with humans? Now that we're putting this out there, now that we see this and we're hearing about this and this is out there, people, do your Googles. I'm just bringing this forward to just kind of bring it to the people's attention. I think this is interesting. This is one of the many things, aside from all of the craziness happening in the world, right? This is one of the most, like, to think that, I would think that there would be more people on this and kind of talking about this stuff. But aside from all the world, like, issues and problems going on, I get that. But this solely right here, I would have honestly thought this would be much more of a bigger subject that people would be magnetized to and talking about, right? Or getting the conversation going, at least to say that Area 51, Roswell, Bob Lazar's story, all that. So does it really hold credibility at this point? We're all like the Betty and Barney Hill story. That's another one we're going to cover here soon. I definitely want to bring that to folks' attention. That was a really interesting story as well. But all that, right? We got to ask ourselves a question, people. What the F is really going on with all this? It's crazy. Like, now that there's David Grusch himself talking about all this stuff freely, where do we go from here? Questions. Like, what do we do? Like, do we brace ourselves for this, or what would we just chill out and just really wait till a UAP comes down and we really know what this thing is, or what it is in general? It's crazy. It's interesting though. It's interesting because, like I said, this goes back to all the people that have believed for so long. Now is the moment of truth. We find out, really, we're getting like inch by inch closer to finding out what this really is. What does it really entail? What are these things flying around? the Tic Tac situation, what is it? The Phoenix Lights, all this stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy. The programs operated without proper congressional oversight, involving potential white-collar crime and reprisals against those who tried to report them. He claimed people had harmed or killed to protect secrecy, though he could not provide public details outside a SIF. Don't know what that means, but I mean, they talk about that right there, right? He claimed people had been harmed or unalive to protect secrecy. I mean, people, what were we talking about last episode? I mean, you got to put one and one together, right? Isn't that kind of, coincidental that he says that? Or he said that before, right? Years ago. And with the last, I forget her name, but the last person we were talking about in regards to her discovering anti-gravity or being, involved with that in 2022, they found her unalived and they claimed that it was just her taking her own life. Suspicious or not? I mean, like I said, it's all out there for us to kind of come up with our own answers and just our own, how would you say, I guess answers to all this, but it's crazy though. Not with him saying that and then thinking about that, all this together, right? All like this technology in general, what I'm referring to, where did this all come about? How did this all come together? Where did he even get it? Did reverse engineer it? I mean, I don't know. There's so many questions, like I said, right? He filed a formal whistleblower complaint with the Intelligence Community Inspector General, ICIG, in 2022, which was deemed credible and urgent. Grusch emphasized that his testimony was secondhand based on what others with direct knowledge told him, and he has not personally seen the craft or biologics. The Pentagon and the AARO have repeatedly denied the existence of such retrieval, reverse engineering programs, or evidence of extraterrestrial or non-human technology. No hard public evidence, documents, photos, or artifacts has been released to substantiate the claims. He has described suffering professional retaliation for coming forward. Of course, like they always do, right? Like I said, example, Barbara Lazar. They try to make it seem like he never went to Los Alamos, like he never worked at S4, that he was just, they tried messing with him. They try to, really just let him know that, his life is going to change for the rest of his living career or whatever, right? So all that fits the narrative of just, this is the type of stuff they do, right? To kind of just throw us off at the scent of what's really going on and all this stuff that's going on behind closed doors. So that really does make sense, right? So Grusch has remained active in UAP discussions in 2026. Key recent developments this month include Space Symposium appearance around April 25th of 2026. He participated in what was described as the first ever UFO UAP discussion at the National Space Symposium, a major event space defense experts, contractors, military, and officials. He shared the stage with Rep. Eric Burleson, Rod Roddenberry, and Mike Gold. The panel drew attention for bringing the topic into mainstream aerospace and defense setting. Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp covered the event positively on their Weaponized podcast. So, I mean, there we go. That just, to me, sounds like this could be a potential threat. If it's in our airspace, of course, we're going to see it as a potential threat. So we're going to treat it as that. So, I mean, it makes sense, right? I mean, you kind of have to brace yourselves for whatever comes at this point. Because, I mean, in the U.S.'s eyes, I feel like they're going to look at this as, like I said, we have no clue what we're dealing with at this point, right? So they definitely want to be on their P's and Q's to really just kind of prepare for this in whatever possible way we can. So that makes sense why they're talking to all these, contractors, militaries, and military officials and defense experts, right? Because, I mean, worst comes to worst, we better be ready for, in case something hits the fan, right? Like my boy says, in case something goes dicey. But yeah, I mean, overall, this guy, he's, like I said, he's not just your regular ordinary person. He just comes out of the woodwork and starts talking about this stuff. And just kind of goes with this whole thing about, I saw a UAP or I've experienced my own UFO, sighting. No, I mean, this dude holds credentials to where we got to take for, his word for it. If he's been involved with all these, these programs in regards to retrievals of these craft or whatever, it's insane to think about, man. It's really insane. But there is a video I do want to play for you folks. And I kind of this is a good way to kind of get a reaction to this. I've seen little bits and snips of this, but I think it's appropriate enough to kind of play here on the podcast so we can all watch this together as a family, you know, and just kind of get our 2 cents of it and just really take it in for what it is and just to see what we really think about this, right? Because like I said, overall, it's such an interesting topic in regards to just the unknown, right? I think the unknown really grasps a lot of people's attention because we truly do not know what we're dealing with at this point in regards to UAPs and UFOs, if we really want to use that abbreviation, right? So here we go. Let's bring up the homeboy David Grusch here and see, you know, what he's got to say in regards to. Let's see this little. What is this topic right here? Okay, so David Grusch says Russia and USA have a UFO treaty. Dave Grusch reveals a 1971 U.S. and USSR treaty worried about misidentified UFOs triggering nuclear escalation. So this is a true story. Again, I have to get the cold hard facts on this, and I will definitely try to get back to this subject or this story in particular, right? So there was a story, I would say this was many years ago, right? I want to say it was in the U.S. There was a nuclear site that somehow all the nuclear missiles got triggered and they were about to go off, or it seemed like they were going to, you know, be going off without anybody's turn of the key or anybody's, igniting these things to come on. And what they noticed, there was an unidentified flying object flying over like the area where these missiles were at. And all of a sudden, boom, turn them off again just automatically. That's a true story, folks. I'm not making this up. Like I said, I will have to bring this. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna bring it up right now. Actually, I don't want to sound crazy, right? Because I'm like speaking about this sometimes, like me internally, my lovely wife, right? I talk about all this stuff, and she says it freaks her out, and it's just kind of like the unknown, right? It just, you know, just the fact that if this is really true, I mean, I can just say the human race should be shaking. We should be shaking in our boots. Because we're no longer the apex predator. We're no longer the top of the food chain at that point. You know, it's just we gotta call it for what it is, right? So it's insane to think that this could be a reality. This is what it's really coming and boiling down to. It's insane. So give me 1 second while I Google this real quick. Okay, here we go, people. Here we go. Pull a little something. Based on testimony from military veterans and researchers, UAPs have been frequently sighted near nuclear facilities, with reports suggesting they have disabled nuclear-armed missiles in 1967 at Millstorm Air Force Base, while some witnesses alleged interference. A 2025 Pentagon review of one such event suggested it was caused by a classified electromagnetic pulse test, though other incidents remained unexplained. I mean... yeah, electromagnetic pulse test. They can come up with anything at this point. To me, they have to give a reason, right? They have to be like, hey, wait, no, it was this. It wasn't a UAP. Don't worry, folks. We got this under control. To me, that's what it sounds like. They're going to give us a reason to kind of throw us off the scent and really make us think it was completely something else. That's my take. That's what I believe. That's my opinion. You know, it is what it is. Former Air Force officers, including Robert Salas, have stated that UAPs appeared over missile sites during the Cold War and immediately rendered nuclear missiles inoperable. I'm just saying. I mean, I don't know. But the interesting part, right, it's like if they're hovering over these nuclear missiles or just in general over these, you know, nuclear facilities, I think we should take it as a sign like, yo, guys, you guys want to chill off these, you know, nuclear warheads from going off. You guys are going to, you know, cause a catastrophic just obliteration of the human race if you guys do this. Nobody's going to win at the end of the day. So why do we need these, right? I mean, I would take it as a warning at this point because, I mean, I don't know. They want to prevent us from just going at each other's necks and just off or, you know, unaliving everybody off. Sorry, I need to, you know, definitely be on that because of the YouTube algorithm. But yeah, there you have it. You know, it's crazy. These events have taken place, and I'll definitely try to remember to dive this into it more with my boy Brett, because it's, man, stuff like that, man. It really makes you wonder. Like, we think we know, but we really have no idea what the hell's going on out there, right? So let's listen to David Grusch here talking about this treaty between us and Russia in regards to UAPs. Let's do this real quick.
There was actually a famous 1971 treaty between the USSR and the US. You can look it up. It's unclassified. was signed in September 1971. And you'll see Article 3, they were worried about the UAP problem set triggering nuclear escalation because of the misidentification of anomalous activity near NC3 assets. And so I think that'll de-escalate possible geopolitical issues if we overtly bring out the topic as well. That's kind of a more prosaic, unexpected, second order consequence of more transparency.
I'll tell you what, man. The day when this, I'm optimistic, right? I really hope the day comes where one of these things or whatever, right, lands at the White House, as you say that, gets out, whoever's piloting these things, right, and lets us know. You guys, second, number one. I'm 100% sure and confident we will all unite as one at that point. Because if we figure out whatever these things are, right? And again, I'm optimistic. Hopefully nothing comes as a threat or we don't, I'm sure they see it as a threat because they're like, man, you guys are over here exiting each other out, political differences, religion differences, all this stuff. But that's going to change. That's all over and done with, I think at that point, when something like this happens, man, we're really going to open our eyes and realize that there's more to meets the eye with this in life in general and just in the grand whole scheme of things, right? At least that's what I think. I don't know. What do I know, right? I'm here in the studio by myself. I just kind of wanted to bring this to the forefront, talk about this. It's interesting. It's interesting, people. Now that we were here in this day and age where, back then, a few years ago, if you were to tell me that this thing would come out and be more out there, like in the mainstream sense, I'd be like, no way. There's no way. But now, fast forward, here we are. David Grusch himself talking about this stuff. Hello? I don't know, man. It's insane. It's insane to think about. There's another one, too, though, that I definitely want to play here that's very interesting that he talks about. Let's see. Let's go. President. No. Here we go. Okay. This is the one right here.
Understands it. There's truly anomalous signatures in the skies. The U.S. government understands it represents a form of sentient non-human intelligence. I know that sounds very Star Trek, a la, Gene Roddenberry and Rod's dad's sci-fi series, but it is true. And I want, the American public to be comforted that the universe is teeming with life, it seems, and readily, able to be explored. And the U.S. government does have a lot of information that I think will inspire Gen Alpha and Gen Z and the American populace at large. And it will be a new era. It'll be a little uncomfortable. There'll be some truths that are be a hard pill to swallow, but I think it's
a little uncomfortable. Talk about a lot of uncomfortable. What do you mean? Life from different planet, galaxy? Like, I hope we have one on the pod. That is one of my well wishes, man. Have one of those UAP, unidentified anomalies or whatever, or biologics, whatever. Sit right here. Tell us about life. What do you think? How's life where you're at? I have so many questions, straight up, man. That just on a serious note, though. Teeming with life. So they know that, yeah, we're not the only ones living here. We're not. I just always thought, no, there's no way. There's no way. There is no way that this planet is the only planet teeming with life. I'm not going to believe it. I don't believe it. I don't. If you ask me, Eduardo, do you think we're the only ones in the universe? No, I don't. So does David Grusch. He sure knows that we're not the only ones here.
Ultimately a good thing to get this out there. And I think the people, the world, and the American public will be very happy to understand their place in the universe, so to speak, without sounding too much like Carl Sagan.
Our place in the universe, we better stick to that. We should know our place. Because like I said, we do not know what we're messing with at this point. We have no clue. No clue. Just keep it at that. We come in peace. We're in peace. I'm all about peace over here, man. I don't know what everybody else is doing. Hey, I'm sure they're taking into account with what's going on in the world, man. I mean, at that point, oh, man, no. But this is definitely something I wanted to bring to the forefront and discuss. Just because I guess, this is a subject that we touch here on the Beyond Expectation podcast many, many times. And of course, we try to follow, obviously, I mean, it sounds kind of, we try to follow these individuals that have, that are the high ranks or official positions in the government that are coming out forward and becoming whistleblowers and going against with whatever they're, them being sworn to secrecy that they're not going to reveal this to the public. They're coming out forward and talking about this stuff, right? And there's also one other story in regards to just Ralph Rip that comes to mind about him coming out and talking about it and being open about it and being a whistleblower himself. He goes by the name of, I think it's Anthony Herrera. I believe that's the name, Anthony Herrera, who saw this unidentified flying object that was parked at a mission that he went because I think there was a hurricane that happened somewhere in Asia over there. He went over there to give support and all that, and he came across this unidentified elite team of soldiers that looked U.S., but they were like on this, just like, I would want to say this ship that he had no clue what it was, but the way it flew off and took off, it was just something he's never seen for in his life and something that he just felt like this thing should not exist. And but the point is I'm trying to make is that, these people come out and talk about this stuff, and it almost like, in a sense, it ruins their lives to come out and sit and tell the truth about this stuff. It's almost like a gift and a curse. The gift, the fact that they're getting this off their chest and letting people know that this is the stuff that's going on, in secrecy. But at the same time, their careers are going to go down the drain, and now they're going to be looked at, pretty much as an outcast because they swore that they were going to talk about this stuff, but they come out and actually speak about this to let the people know, hey, this is what's going on, right? So I think that to me is kind of the important part here is that you have these people that, want to do the honorable thing and let the people know. Like, the people should know the truth, right? We should know the truth. And what's really going on. Granted, like David Grusch said, it might be such a big thing to accept the fact that, like, if we do come down to the fact that this is 100% true, it'll be good, but it'll be hard for us to accept the truth that we are not the only planets here that's teeming with life, right? So I think it just comes to the main principle of just knowing the truth, right? That's kind of really what it boils down to. But nonetheless, it's just man, we're living in very, very interesting times, and I always keep telling myself that when I come across these topics, right? And it's good stuff to talk about on the podcast, man. Because I know there's a lot of people that do follow this stuff. I mean, me being one of them, I definitely find interest when stuff like this comes out, documentaries, articles, and videos about this stuff. So I always definitely feel motivated to bring it, to the forefront, talk about it with you folks. Like, what do you guys think? Anybody out there? I'm going to wrap this short video up here. But what do you think about this? Do you believe UAPs, is it like a government thing? Is it, could it be a different country? Is it an illusion? Drones? I mean, I heard all that stuff before. Or could it really be something that we just have no clue and it's coming from somewhere else? What is it, interdimensional? I mean, you hear it all. I mean, at this point, like, we don't even know if it's a possibility for every single one of those things that I mentioned. But I mean, who knows at this point, right? I mean, we'll know when we know. That's really what it boils down to. I mean, until we really see one of these things close hand, or somebody gets really good footage, or, like I said, the one day till one of them lands and they come out and let us know, like, you're not the only ones here. We're here now. Will that day come? Who knows? But people, I just wanted to make that short and sweet, come up here and give you guys another segment of what we call the side quest segments here of the Beyond Suspicion podcast with yours truly. We'll be back for another full episode here very soon with my boy Brett, the White Rhino, on this very seat here. But again, I just wanted to make some awesome content for you guys, for you to enjoy, make something short and sweet, and, something to help you through the week. You know what I'm saying? So let me know what you think in the comments on your YouTube page. Let me know what you think about this. David Grusch, you think he's, telling the truth? Is he crazy? Is he just, doing this for attention? Let me know what you think. Let me know. But till then, I'm going to wrap this one up. Take care. We love you. Have a good day. Have a good week. Peace, baby.